guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle. If you're new, a very warm welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much for watching my videos. I do appreciate it. I hope you guys had a fantastic week so far, and everything that you did this week was absolutely great. It is almost weekend. I am posting it a day before the weekend, so hang in there. It's almost there for those of you that are doing something over the weekend that you guys are excited for. If you're anything like me, like I've always said, I like to keep it like chilled and relaxed at home. So I don't think we have anything planned. I don't actually know. Nothing has been said and set in stone yet. So for all that I know, I'm staying home this weekend. But like I always say, I have no problem staying home. I love my home. I love staying indoors and cozy and just doing whatever I feel like doing for that weekend or that day for that matter. You know, doing voiceovers is so weird. I'm so used to doing face cam that doing voiceovers requires me to kind of practice, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably, especially this part that I'm recording right now, it's probably my 7th try just to not babble like just random stuff. I don't know why I'm not used to doing voiceovers anymore. It feels like I've just started. And if I do stumble over my words, please excuse me, because like I've said before, I don't script any of my videos, so nothing is written down so I can actually read from the actual piece of paper. So if there's a few words that I mispronounce or just say wrong or just I sound like a total amateur, just, you know, just excuse me, you know, it will be okay. I've come to the conclusion that I don't like voiceovers. Even in those first few videos that I only did voiceovers, that was like, I would never be able to do face cam. Like why? How can I do it? And then I started doing face cam, and then it's like, now I'm doing voiceovers. I'm like, how do I do voiceovers? But guys, if you haven't guessed it yet, back on the subject, we are building the Jurassic Park Visitor Center. And I mean, this is an iconic film and an iconic build. So there is no time for like just looking around and seeing, this might work, this kind of might work. No, this was like a super intense, labor intensive, hard, difficult build. Not only was it a big build, but it's also a very iconic build. So it's one of those builds where I have the reference picture next to me and I keep on looking over to it, and then I think, okay, this is gonna work, but this doesn't really look the same. And I know myself, I kind of want to make it look as realistic as possible. Like if I see the picture and I see, okay, those front parts of the build is actually like curved, but you know, if you manipulate pillars or columns in a way, yes, you can make it curve, but it still looks like Sims. If you know, builders know what I'm talking about. If you see a house on the picture and you try to replicate it in the Sims, it's most of the time not going to look just exactly like the picture. But I mean, you can try to make it look, but it's not always going to look the same. And that's what I wanted to do with this build. I wanted to make it look as realistic and as accurate as the picture that I was staring at. Now, I actually had 2 tries with this build. The first one I did record while building, and then I realized, you know, I actually used the bottom floor as a foundation. So what I did is I built the room and I just raised the room up. And after doing this part that I'm doing now, I realized, you know, that's such a waste of space, because what I could actually do is just build a whole floor at the bottom and then a second floor, and then it will look more realistic, because you can't make any windows in the actual foundation part. You can't do anything other than just paint it, and that's about it. So I actually deleted and demolished that whole build, deleted the recordings, and then I started from scratch with this one that I'm doing right now. You know, when I told my husband about the fact that I recorded and I built as far as I am now, putting the stairs down, and I realized, no, you know, this is not going to work, let me demolish and start all over. He actually said, no way he'll be able to do that. The patience and, you know, just the determination of demolishing and starting all over. And I feel with these type of builds in general, with me, if I see something and it doesn't look exactly like the way I wanted it to, I'm not going to be as happy as what I just, you know, just build it over and start all over, and then, you know, you're going to be happy. So that is I would kind of say the problem, but it's not actually the problem. It's just me trying to give it justice, you know, say, okay, this you can actually recognize it and say, yes, this is from the Jurassic Park movie, and say it confidently, you know, I think I nailed it. The back part of this build I didn't focus on much because in the movie, as I can recall, if I am correct, I don't actually know, I should have actually watched the movie again and made sure about that, but I don't think you actually see most of the back part of the build. I think if I recall, you only see most of the screens or most of the parts of the film was in the front of the building, so you see a ton of the front but not much as the back. But you do get an aerial view that I saw from the top of the build where you can actually see the back, and it looks, you know, it's kind of in a circle or oval, the whole build. But I don't like building on bigger lots. I thought to myself this was the kind of the biggest lot that I would go with this build. I tried, the first attempt was on a smaller build or smaller lot, and I thought, you know, this is too squashed. It's just too small, and because it's a big build, you don't want it to look, you know, squashed. I would think if I take a look back now and I think about the trees that I put around it, it was kind of squashed in the sense that I would have liked a lot more trees at the back. Because if you take a look at the build in the video or the film, you'll see there's a lot of landscaping and there's a lot of trees and shrubs and stuff around the build. And yes, it probably would have been nice to do it, but like I also say, I don't like building on bigger lots. So this is the biggest that I'll go, most probably, like the 50 by 50 and the, I think, 40 by 50 if I'm not mistaken. Those are just too big for me. It's just too big. And I would have loved if I could take a bit more time and do the whole, like the entrance and like to the T, this whole build, but I figured I'm only doing this for the actual visitor center building, so there's no need for me to do like the entrance and the whole enclosures and everything, and I focused more on the exterior, like the shell. So inside, what you would see in the movie is like dinosaur artifacts and skeletons and stuff like that. We don't have that in The Sims. I do believe you'll probably have it in CC because CC creators are amazing. They create like tons of things that you don't find in The Sims. So I haven't checked if they have it in CC, but I'm pretty sure they probably would. You know, like skeletons and fossils and stuff. But what I actually did is I just changed the inside into a restaurant. And that is it. The inside is not movie accurate. Like, you know, all the things that you see as I can recall now while sitting here, but the inside is a fully functional restaurant. It has a karaoke bar, it has a bar, it has like a little science, you know, corner where the Sims can actually go and, you know, pretend to look at the fossils and the stuff. That's all from debug menu, so there's nothing in the build buy that you can actually see and interact with. But it's just the thought of the science lab and everything. Because of the size of the build and the, you know, plenty of columns and things that I use, I skipped most of those so you guys don't see the same thing over. So for example, I'm putting down the columns over here, and then I kind of skip the part where I do it on the other side because I do the exact same thing on the other side. Most of these things that I place down is skipped so you guys don't get bored by seeing the same thing over and over. This build is like super complicated for me. I was like really thinking and trying to, because like I said, you don't want to be stingy on the stuff that you use and kind of make it look, you know, oh, I built the Jurassic Park Center, blah blah blah. You want it to look exactly the same, or I do. But guys, I hope you guys have a magical week, rest of the week, and a relaxing, happy, safe, whatever you do over the weekend. I hope you guys enjoy it. I truly do. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hopefully next week I'll do a face cam if it allows me. It's a bit difficult now, especially this week, because the kids are on Easter break. They're both home. I'm sitting here with my little baby cat in the nice quiet room and trying to do this voiceover while stumbling. Have zero expectations of it running smooth, but there we go. I hope you guys, like I said, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!